Hey, everybody. It's a beautiful Friday, June the 25th. It's National Catfish Day. And it's time for the Wise Guys and Girl, sponsored by Kmart. As always, let's start with Sir and the weather.
Well, not a bad start to Friday, but it is the beginning of a rainy period. Currently 22 degrees, working our way up to a high of 26 today. Looks like the rain's going to be coming later this afternoon and into the evening and tomorrow. But hopefully we see some sunshine on Sunday. And a random daily shout out to Fisherman's Knives, always built to scale.
Well, National Catfish Day celebrates the value of farm-raised catfish and not the practice of noodling. Have you heard of noodling? It's basically the catching a catfish with your bare hands. If you haven't seen this, it's wild. You stick your hand in a catfish hole and you wait for it to bite you, and then you just pull it out. Wild. You know what's weirder than watching a catfish? Watching a goldfish bowl.
Oh, God.
It does take great patience to go fishing. Sometimes fish just won't take the bait. They're standoffish.
Oh.
Last time I went fishing, we had really good luck. I caught a bass, a catfish, and get this, a hammerfur.
Go ahead, ask the question.
What is a hammer for?
For driving nails. Or a nickname of a great city to the west of us. And today I learned that catfishing is on the internet is something completely different.
Okay,
By surprise.
You know what it is, James.
Well, I know now.
Well, that's because you're bottom feeding.
Oh, Paul, don't be shellfish.
I was looking for photos for catfishing, and I just couldn't figure out how they could bait the hooks with their tiny paws. All right, it is time for Tunes with Tamik. Tamik, what are we listening to today? Paul's favorite song, The Catfish Blues by Skip James.
Well, so it is a song called The Catfish Blues, but I feel like the original person, I'm looking at many versions of this song, but I feel like it's Muddy Waters. Was he the originator of that?
Cat Stevens.
I don't know. But yeah, like a lot of people, like Jimi Hendrix has a version that they played.
No, you're right. No, you're right. It was Muddy Waters. He was noodling. Got really clouded all of a sudden.
Because like the Jimi Hendrix version, right, changes like literally 5 words or something like that, and then they claim it was written by some next guy, and I'm like, come on, now that's catfishing, right? But the version that it looks like the original version was done by Muddy Waters and Gary Clark Jr., Jimi Hendrix, a bunch of people who are in and of themselves legendary musicians have also done that song. And I listened to 3 versions. I listened to the Jimi Hendrix version, the Gary Clark Jr. version, and the Muddy Waters version. And it's interesting how you hear the same song with pretty much the same lyrics, but 3 different musicians, and you get something different each time. It's actually really fascinating. So if you can check out all 3 versions, I would recommend it. But I feel like Muddy Waters' nickname being Muddy Waters and him writing like catfish that come out of the mud, I feel like it's very poetic.
Yeah.
And when I was reading, thank God for Wikipedia, when I was reading just some history on Muddy Waters, I'm like, this is how, as much as like it feels like we're really past a lot of things, Muddy Waters grew up on a plantation in Mississippi. He ain't been gone that long. You know what I mean? So it's so interesting to see again where a lot of musicians come from and sort of their history and their influences. But I mean, he's been an influence for pretty much generations of musicians. So like I said, it would be cool for people to listen to all 3 versions, kind of pick which one hits them the most. I can't lie, that Gary Clark Jr. version knocks. Like, it is crazy. Like, he is incredible. But the lyrics are just cute, right? Well, I wish I was a catfish swimming in old deep blue sea. I would have all of you good-looking women fishing after me. And I'm like, sure you would, in the sea. But when you come out of the mud, nobody wants a catfish, right? So it's just a cute song. A little bit about infidelity, a little bit about the dad finding out and leaving. It's interesting, right? How they use Catfish Blues as a way of talking about that. But that's my pick for today. And like I said, listen to the Muddy Waters because that's the original. And listening to him, I actually understood the song better than the Gary Clark Jr. version. Because that version, I was just listening to Gary Clark Jr. play. I didn't care about the lyrics. I was just listening to him play. So great song, fun song. And that's my pick for today. And you know what? Those three remakes, I don't mind. I don't mind Jimi Hendrix version. They all brought their own flavor to it. And that's really what a remake should be. It should be you bringing your flavor to the song, but honoring the person who the originator, right? So yeah, it's fantastic. So that is my recommendation for today. Catfish Blues. Some of you, some of you may relate, some of you may not. I don't know. That's none of my business.
It's a bit like adding pepper to your catfish, when you do a remake.
That's right. You got to add a little extra seasoning to it,
That extra spice.
Paul, you should make your own blackened catfish.
Yes,
You can chef it up, Paul. Make your own little spice blend and blacken that up for yourself,
Well, when I said I was going to do that, my wife said, we are not having a Harvey Weinstein meal. No sucking bottom feeders in our house.
Listen, what you got to do. You got to you have a good cast iron pan?
Yes, I do, actually.
You have an outdoor burner, like you have a barbecue that has do it outside because, you might, light something on fire inside. But do it outside, nice cast iron pan, put your seasoning on it, and make your own blackened catfish.
Okay.
And play the Muddy Waters tune while you're doing it.
Excellent. Well, so you can go noodling to catch your catfish. You can cook it up nice and have some nice flattened catfish. And then maybe later on, as a reward, you'll get some canoodling in.
Yeah.
Or the cast iron pan.
Yep.
We'll get the
Canoodling gone wrong.
Tamik, just a quick question.
Then I'm going to get Ventura to come and help me clean up.
Sure, Paul, no problem.
Tamik, do you know the difference?
You have to clean up all the time.
Tamik, the difference between a hunter and a fisherman?
What's the difference?
Well, the hunter lies in wait, while the fisherman waits and lies.
Well, I have heard that, actually.
Oh, you should have put it out there.
Always pretending to catch one, yeah.
All these great activities. I wonder which one Venturo's going to get to. Well, let's find out. It is time for Ventures with Venturo. What's up this weekend?
Listen, man, you guys have made some great recommendations, right? I'll just add to the mix that you can go to your favorite restaurant and see if they have a catfish recipe or something that you can try there, right? But I think this is officially the first weekend of summer, right? It is, right?
Yes,
so, listen, I've been stuck in my house for so long. I've been constantly looking at things to do and I've been putting off everything. So this first official weekend of summer, I've decided that I'm gonna start by making my list. I started the list, so I'm gonna be doing some painting, right? I'm gonna be doing some painting. Right, that's a big project, right? So I know a lot of people have been looking around. You've been in your house for so long, and there's so many things that are getting on top of your nerves, and you might choose to take on a project. So it's a fun time to take on projects. But as we're talking about catfish, and JD mentioned it earlier, if you check the Urban Dictionary, and you'll see what it means to be catfished, right? So there's actually a documentary on that. So if you have some time to burn, it can be very funny, and sometimes it's just so funny how people fall for these things, right? But sometimes you're in desperate situations, so you might fall for anything. But check out that documentary if you have some time to burn.
Is it on Netflix, Venture, or where can they watch it?
It's on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Might have to shell out a little dough for that, but I'm sure you can find an episode.
That's what they all say, and then it's actually on Netflix.
You can always ask a friend. I'm sure a friend has Amazon Prime.
But yeah, I'm sure you can watch an episode or two on YouTube for sure.
can go over to a friend's house as long as there are only 5 of you. You can hang out indoors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent. And do they have a special segment about catfishing through Words with Friends?
Oh, that's your segment. I think they're waiting for you to call them up for that one.
Goodness gracious. All right, the fun continues. All right, it's Friday. Time for Friday's joke of the week.
Now, is it just me, or like I got this sort of information through my parents that Friday was like for fish. I don't know if it's a religious thing with some churches you can't have. Like I just wanted a steak, but no, Friday was always like fish and chips or some sort of fish-based meal. So I tried to maintain the family traditions with the kids, and now that the patios are open, I took the kids to seafood restaurant last Friday, and we were just sitting down. Next thing, there's a bit of kerfuffle at the table next to me, and this diner calls over the waiter and says, "Hey, there's something wrong with this catfish." The waiter says, "Long time no see, sir." Wow, that's when the fight broke out, and then 2 catfish got battered.
Long time no see, and the catfish got back.
All right, we got a couple of dollars over to the Sellers Restaurant next week.
No, we have enough money to get some catfish at the Cracker Barrel.
Oh. Hey, I hear some amazing things happen at the Cracker Barrel. Just watch out that you got all your extremities.
Well, hey, no, that cream corn is delicious.
It's optional.
Woo! So sorry.
All right, everybody. Well, that is it for us on this Friday. It's it for the week. Have a great weekend, everyone. We are the Wize Guys and Girl, leaving you smarter and happier than you were yesterday.